crushing pound of the mallet. The shattering blow of the club. The slashing edge of the blade. They call to you. Mortal Kombat 4. Darkness is calling.
Hello and welcome back to Afterglow episode 106. And on this episode, I am joined by Grim from the Lost and Gone podcast, along with the now finally released Grimglow podcast, as we discuss our memories and thoughts of Mortal Kombat 4. That game, honestly, a lot of people talk a lot of crap about it. It's not nearly as bad as what other people make it out to be, though. I mean, I still prefer from that era, stuff like Tekken, but honestly, Mortal Kombat 4 was not a bad game. Just because other games were better doesn't make another game bad. At least that's my opinion. So in the intro, I kind of mixed it up a little bit, played the commercial from the game, because I remember seeing this commercial a lot for some reason. There's not a whole lot of video game commercials that actually stand out to me that I remember, but that's definitely one of them. So I totally just wanted to open the episode with that. And now we're going to enjoy some music from the game before Grim joins me and we talk about our personal thoughts of Mortal Kombat 4. And welcome back. I have my co-host of the new Grimglow podcast with me for this episode. What's up, Grim?
Oh, putting them fatalities to femme fatales.
So, you didn't like the women in this game?
No, I liked them a lot.
So, as you heard from the intro, we are talking about Mortal Kombat 4, one of the worst rated games in the franchise behind Mortal Kombat Advance, but honestly, I don't think it's that bad of a game.
I honestly really liked it too, eventually. At first, I really didn't like some of the things that they added to it, and I remember trying to play this various different years throughout my life, and I didn't like it any time until now.
So when did you first get your hands on it? How did you hear about it?
I remember when it came out on PlayStation, and I remember seeing it, and I was like, that is amazing. That's so cool, because I was used to just Trilogy, and, obviously I played 1 and 2, but I wasn't no good at those. But when Trilogy came out, that was awesome. And then when 4 came out, I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen, but never owned it. The only real exposure I had to it, and this might be a little bit pedantic at this point because it's technically not Mortal Kombat 4, but it came out also as gold on the Dreamcast.
I played that version a little bit for the first time when prepping for this, and it looks pretty.
Yeah, it looks way better than the PlayStation version. So, my dad had a friend, right? And his name was Humberto. Was a really weird guy, really cool, loved video games. He had the Sega Saturn, he had a Sega Dreamcast, he had a 64, he had every game system imaginable at the time. He had a Nomad, like Game Gear, everything. That guy was nuts. And I remember I used to hang out with his nephew, and his nephew had an Xbox and stuff like that. We'd play that. And then I remember one night when I spent the night, I came downstairs in the morning, and he was downstairs, and he was playing Mortal Kombat Gold. And he pulled it off some like 100 hit combo, and it was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
My first time seeing this game was on TV through the commercial. I don't remember a lot of video game commercials, but this one kind of locked in. It had the live action Shinnok and Quan Chi, and they were really pushing the weapons of the game. But whenever I first got a copy, I probably got the saddest looking copy of this game. So I got it from a pawn shop, and it was in a generic CD case. It did not have like the back cover. It didn't have the manual or nothing. It's just like a music CD case with only the PlayStation game disc in it. And I think I paid
Wow.
like $2 for it. It was like dirt cheap because there was nothing with it.
Oh wow, that's kind of funny. That reminds me, I went to this place called Disc Replay, really cool place, and I bought a copy of Dragon Ball Z Super. I had no idea what it was. It looked like a bootleg game to me because they had reprinted the manual from an online one, and it looked terrible. And I bought it anyway, and it was a terrible game, but it was sad too.
So this is one of those weird games. The gameplay wasn't bad. It doesn't play like Tekken at all, even though it is Mortal Kombat's first 3D fighting game that came out in the era of Tekken and Dead or Alive. But for the most part, other than the sidestepping, it played like a 2D fighting game, other than the ability to sidestep. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely do have to concur with you in that regard. The only thing that I feel like really set that apart from other fighters at the time was it feels intuitive when you play Tekken and you do a combo and stuff like that. And when you go to do combos in Mortal Kombat 4, it doesn't feel very good. You have to know exactly what you're doing and hope to pull off anything more than a 3 or 4 hit combo. And I still don't know how I do it sometimes, you know?
Yeah, they also did a damage cap to the
Mm-hmm.
combos, so you can't go infinite anymore.
Yeah. You get that maximum damage thing that pops up. I had Goro do that to me plenty of times, and I got so mad, dude. I had to go back and put it on very easy in the difficulty settings, which, by the way, save your pride. Just do it.
Yeah, this is not one of those games where it takes stuff away if you play on easy. I'm fairly sure that you unlock everything, even if you're playing on very easy. Because I definitely remember those ending cinematics for all the characters.
Yeah, and that's one thing I thought was super cool about this game is the ending ones, they were actually voiced and they were really cool. Some of them sure were a little bit cheesy, like the stuff between Sub-Zero and Scorpion and stuff like that, but I loved it. I thought it was cool for the time. I still think it's cool now.
See, I like the Scorpion and Sub-Zero one. The one I thought was corny was Jax and I think his name was Jarek.
Yeah.
That one was pretty rough. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality. Like, oh god.
Oh, and I love that crazy scream that he does.
Going back to gameplay, did you do any of the fatalities in this one? Because I feel like they took kind of a lot of the comedy out of this when they were just looking at making the fatalities more brutal looking.
I'll be honest with you. I tried, and I could not succeed at doing a single one, but I had them do them to me.
Yeah, that is something. It's kind of good, kind of bad. The fact that the computer, I feel like it uses the fatality much more often than the 2D games.
Oh yeah, and honestly, it was I was like mad, but I was like, at least they used the fatality at the end. They didn't do something lame like crouch down and gently kick my shins.
Yeah, that was probably one of the more annoying points of the early games and even whenever I did it too, where I'd try to do a fatality and I'd hit like high punch instead of low punch, and I jab the guy in the jaw and he goes down. It's like, oh, that wasn't what I was hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
Did you figure out the weapons in the game?
No, I still don't know why sometimes I would pull them out, but I was happy every single time I pulled one out.
Yeah, the weapons are fun, and then there's also like objects in the level you can pick up and chuck at your opponent. Like the fact that you can pick up a decapitated head and just chuck it at whoever you're fighting is amazing.
So I have to ask you, because you seem like you know how you did it. How did you pick them up?
I have to recheck my controls because I can't remember. I know I could do it.
I couldn't,
But
dude. I tried. Instead, they were thrown at me, and I just had to jump and be like, "Oh God, don't hit me!"
if I'm looking at a move guide now, it's like hitting down plus. It says RN here. Down plus run. That's how you do it.
Huh? That's what I suspected, but I wasn't 100% sure because I thought I did that once, and then I tried to do it again, and nothing happened. So I just assumed it was a fluke.
Yeah, I hardly ever run in this game, to be honest with you. I know a lot of other people do, but I hardly ever do it.
Oh, dude, in order to beat Goro, you have to run at him. I don't know how you did it without it. Every
Jump
single
kick.
time you have to run up, get in his face, and bully the hell out of him.
That's jump kick him.
Yeah, sometimes he would. That's a weird thing, dude. Between going from Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat 2, and you have to fight Montaro and then Goro, and when you fight those guys, they give you no quarter. They're so cheap. They input read all the time and just stop you in your tracks, whatever you're trying to do, and just take advantage of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Goro in this game will just stop, taunt, and act stupid and just let you beat him up. And then sometimes you could just constantly jump kick him till he dies. And then sometimes he doesn't put up with it and he just whoops your ass.
I was glad to see Goro come back in this game, but although he does look, looks like he lost a little weight and he got taller. Is it just me?
Yeah, and it also looks like he could have 4 wieners in those hands too.
Right. But no, it was fun. There are a couple of level fatalities too. Now these I couldn't get to work, but I saw them online. There's one where you grab your opponent and spin him around a few times and toss him in a giant fan, which the spin is really cool because. Well, also let's talk about this entire thing. The fatalities in this game, because it's a 3D game, the camera for the first time will move around during the fatality.
Yeah, I didn't get to see any of those as much as I would have liked to. I think they did one to me into the spike pit, but other than that, I haven't seen it. And that's another cool thing that I really like about this is they kind of matured with the continue screen, and it looks great when you're falling, you know?
Oh, that continued screen is iconic. And what better way in the arcade to get you to put in another quarter than to kill you off if you don't give the game more money?
Yeah, right. Ed Boon needs those quarters, kids.
Just if you play the arcade version, be sure to play Revision 3 because Revision 1 and 2 are both missing some characters.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
You know,
Revision 1 was a very early version, and then there is a demo or a prototype version where they did a truck that went across the country, and they would set up Mortal Kombat cabinets in this truck for you to play.
I remember
Inter-
hearing about that.
Interestingly enough, Noob Saibot was playable in that, although he was not playable in any of the arcade versions other than that truck.
That's wild. And all those people were gaslit so hard when they said they did it. And they're like, no, you didn't. Stop lying.
Right.
You know what's crazy? I think in one of the GameCube games in the crypt, you can unlock a photo of those trucks.
That would be cool. I saw them on YouTube. I never got to see one like in real life, but
Oh,
I
a Mortal
remember
Kombat
hearing
4
about it.
arcade cabinet?
No, the truck.
Oh,
Yeah, the arcade cabinet. Honestly, I've probably only seen in the wild once or twice. Because I remember
Yeah,
it had a
same.
Quan Chi on the side of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely saw one. Now that I think about it, there used to be a Brunswick zone near me, and I remember we went there, and there most certainly was a Mortal Kombat 4 arcade cabinet there with Quan Chi and his big head on there. It was so cool.
Yeah, the side art on that cabinet was really good. Who did you end up maining, or did you have a main in this game?
So it's kind of funny you mentioned that. I always thought Quan Chi was the coolest looking dude. And when I was in my teenage years and they came out with Deadly Alliance and he made this funny sound and then he like does this gut punch in Deadly Alliance and I would totally attack my friend that way and make the same sound. It was awesome.
I think I think he does have the best fatality in this game too. The leg grip where he rips the opponent's leg off and then starts beating them with it.
Yep. That one's pretty cool. But honestly, that's another thing I think we should touch on is there's like these weird counter moves that you can do to where you break their like limbs in these grotesque ways. Oh my god, it's awful.
Yeah, I laughed at these to be honest with you because you'll snap their arm back the wrong way or you'll like wrap their neck around and you just shake it off and then continue fighting.
Yeah, I was about to say because like I remember one of them you kick them and you break their shins in. Like their shins go the other way.
It
and
looks
you
so painful.
it looks awful and they scream too when you do it.
The audio in this game, actually, the voice acting's hilarious, especially if you play as Liu Kang.
Yeah, I feel. What about Sonya Blade when she goes
Yeah,
nacho cheese?
honestly, the main two players I played as were Sub Zero and Raiden in this one, just because I
Mm,
got their move sets down easier than I did anyone else.
dude, I played Shinnok all the way through too, and if you play Shinnok, he has a bunch of different other characters, so he kind of switches from character to character in the middle of the match.
Now, you played on the PlayStation, so you had the loading whenever you swapped his move set, right?
I played on both the PlayStation and the Dreamcast, and it was there on both.
Ah, okay. Seeing the N64 didn't have that, but like I said, I didn't have an N64 as a kid, and I struggled to play fighting games in that weird joystick contraption they have anyway.
Yeah, what are we gonna do? Play Bio Freaks on there? Don't even take that off the recording. Nobody needs to know about that game.
Play some War Gods.
That game's terrible too. Oh my god.
And believe it or not, Midway made War Gods almost as like a prototype to this game. They used that game, took what they learned to start the 3D modeling for Mortal Kombat 4.
Yeah, you gotta crawl before you get on your knees, I guess, because
I'm not sure they were even crawling with that one. Where
I do
Stumbles
gotta
at? That's a
say I
game of
liked it.
fitting.
Yeah, right. I do gotta say I did overall like the game, and I want to say there's like some weapons that you can get that really are overpowered. Like the gun, it's like a laser gun type thing. You pull that out, you're pulling the Peacemaker out. Like you're getting rid of that other opponent if you're smart about it.
Yeah, it's one of those where you either master sidestepping or you just get inside real quick or you're dead.
Mm-hmm. And that is one thing that's a little annoying about the weapons is like one hit and you're forced to drop it.
The one thing going back to the endings that frustrated me was they didn't do anything with a lot of the endings in future games. Like Raiko in this game, he ends up in his ending. He sits on the throne, and Shao Kahn's helmet goes down on his head. It's like, so is he Shao Kahn? No, never explained.
Never happened.
Yep, it just he was dreaming. Uh, Fujin, we never really see a lot from him until I want to say the Mortal Kombat reboot.
Yeah, and even then, I haven't even played that one. I thought about getting the Switch version because, I wanted to stare at it with a magnifying glass and wonder what I was looking at.
And then a couple of the new characters, Tanya, apparently she was originally supposed to be Katana, and then the Black Warrior dude uh, was supposed to be Kano. But then they've decided that they needed new characters, so they reworked them into new characters. But originally, those two were supposed to be Katana and Kano, which kind of makes sense if you look at their movesets.
Hmm. Yeah, I suppose so. The only thing I appreciated more, well, actually, the thing I appreciate about it in general, though, is they at least have an excuse as to why, uh, none of the Black Dragon characters are in the game. Because those are my favorite characters in every other Mortal Kombat game. I love Cabal. I love Movado, Suhao. I love those characters.
And that's why I was thinking Black Warrior, Black Dragon. That's the guy I was thinking of.
Oh,
He's even got like the laser eye thing like Kano had.
hmm. Did you ever actually beat it with Shinnok and see his ending?
Years and years ago. I did not do it whenever I was researching it this go around. I only beat it with Sub Zero and Raiden. I did look at all the endings, but for the life of me, I can't remember what Shinnok's was.
Oh, it's the one to where he has he has Raiden in like that weird fountain thing, and he's like talking crap to him, and then Raiden explodes.
Uh,
It's kind of lame, but
that's like the Tanya ending's really weird, where she's leading Liu Kang into like the dungeon.
oh my god, I love that.
You fool! This is a trap.
At least she was honest about it when it was.
Right?
You fool, this is a trap. She just said it so calm. Like, it's like to her, it was just like, oh, this is just a Tuesday. Like, it's no big deal.
So neither one of us did the N64 version, but they have the endings in that version too. But they use in-game cutscenes
It's
rather than
bad.
the FMVs. Yeah, they look rough.
So bad.
Like they look really rough.
Yeah, it was funny to watch the Sub-Zero and Scorpion ones through that because just the way that the whole thing crumbles like that, and it's the in-game engine, you can't like just looks like a terrible drama. It almost reminds me of Mortal Kombat Special Forces, but worse.
Yeah. Speaking of special forces, this game came out after Mortal Kombat Mythologies, but the story in Mythology is supposed to be like the prequel to this entire game. It's weird to have like a game act as a prequel to another game, but Mythologies was pretty bad.
I remember, dude. There was this Mexican kid that used to live a couple blocks away from me, and he had it. And one night, we stayed up and tried to beat it, and we got nowhere.
Yeah, I couldn't get anywhere with it. The cutscenes were, I mean, they're well made, but they're corny too.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up just watching the cutscenes on YouTube to get the idea for the, and yeah, like I said, it ended up just being like a huge prequel game for everything that happens here. Uh, More or less going over Shinnok and how he got set up. Uh,
Yep.
Outside of maining Sub Zero and Raiden, I did like what they did with Reptile in this game. How that they made him look a lot more reptilian. He's outside of the ninja suit.
Yeah, and I was about to say, if you play the N64 version, that is not true. He looks just like a ninja.
Really? See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the case.
That is so weird that they would do that. Also, storyline thing. Apparently, in this game, Johnny Cage is dead, although he is a playable character.
He kicked the wrong person in the balls finally.
I guess. He was revived to help the Earthrealm fighters, but somewhere he got killed in between, I guess, Mortal Kombat 3 and this game.
Yep, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't saying anything that wasn't true. And yeah, on the N64, they still have the ninja mask over him and stuff.
I wonder
And they
why
just
they
put
did that.
scales on his arms. Probably because it was too many polygons for it, and they, didn't know how to work the floating point math.
Hmm. Speaking of weird versions, while you're here, you should go on YouTube, because on top of the Dreamcast, N64, and PS1, there was a Game Boy Color version of this.
Oh, I saw that, and I was like, oh, I'm going to play that too. And then I didn't, because I remembered what AVGN went through with the game, like the Game Boy ports of it, of the regular Mortal Kombat, and I was like, you know what? Better I didn't.
I loaded it up on my new retro gaming handheld setup. Just recently, I got the Odin Pro, so I loaded it up with Launchbox and gave the Game Boy version a try, and it's awful. There is no control whatsoever. It plays like a Tiger electronic handheld game.
Oh my god, it looks so bad. Oh
It's
lord.
very jerky.
All the characters look like they're the same color. They're all just
It's
different
rough.
shades of red and pink and black. Except for Sub-Zero, he's got some blue on him. Oh, and Tanya is like completely yellow skin, by the way.
Yep. But yeah, whenever I was a kid, I liked it. I didn't love it. Like I thought that Tekken 2 was like easier or easily the better game of the two, because I had Tekken 2 about the same time I had this game. And I put a lot more time into Tekken 2. But this game's good for fun.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. Like, if you just want to experience something that's different, and different in a good way, there's a lot of weird quirks to it that make it a little more difficult to pick up initially. But if you take the time to bother and learn how to actually play it, it's pretty fun. Do I like Tekken 2 better? Yeah, but it's worth
Yeah,
it. It's worth it.
that's how I am too. I prefer Tekken 2 by far if I'm gonna play a fighting game from this era. But like if you're burning out on it, or if you just need like a palate cleanser or something, like I do enjoy Mortal Kombat 4. It doesn't deserve like the incredibly bad reviews it got at the time, or even today.
No, I agree with you. I actually think it's a playable game. It's fun. There's a combo system there that's a little more complicated and perhaps not as intuitive as the previous games, but it's still good.
Yeah, it's different because it's not the definitely not the 2D games, but it's definitely not the later 3D games that you got with like Deadly Alliance and whatnot. Like it's definitely its own thing that they never went back to. It's cool to see something different. But
Yeah, I personally think the animation style and everything like that for the PlayStation version and for the Dreamcast version, both are pretty good. Definitely the Dreamcast version is the prettier of the two, and that one obviously even goes by a different name, but if you can't get either of those, emulate them, give them a try, enjoy them for what they are.
yeah, I would definitely look at the Dreamcast version first, then the arcade if you're doing the third revision, and then follow that up with the PlayStation 1 before, if you have to. There is the N64 version, but you're not getting the full effect with the N64 version.
Yeah, that's the one where it's break in case of an emergency.
So before we begin to wrap this up, Grim, where can we find you? Of course, we do Lost and Gone, but we do have another project that we've been doing.
Yes, we have the Grim Glow Low Tech Review Show, where me and Mr. Leathco here talk about low tech devices, their impact on society, and a bunch of other things that have absolutely nothing to do with that device. And I promise you, it is a phenomenal time, and you will enjoy yourself. We have a couple of interesting segments in the show where we talk about odd news stories, and how Rule 34 can apply to everything and nothing all at the same time.
With that being said, Rule 34 and whatnot, that show, I definitely let things hang loose a lot more than I do on this show. This one I'm not going to say entirely clean, but stuff that you can rub off with a washcloth if you wanted to. Whereas that one, there ain't no washcloth cleaning that up.
No, you're
Get
gonna
the eye
get
bleach.
sticky. No, you're gonna get sticky.
It turned out really, really good, though. I don't think episodes of it are going to come out as often as this because it gets a lot more editing than the show does, but we go into a lot more detail there than we do here, too.
And they're a lot longer. Like, we're shooting at least an hour for each one, so.
Yep, so be sure to check out the first episode. We're looking for feedback, so leave a comment, leave a rating. Leave something in the Discord. If you check the show notes, there is a Discord that is for that show, for this show, along with the Lost and Gone podcast. So we're always looking for feedback. Be sure to leave something.
One-stop shop. We'll be there.
Yep, it's pretty quiet, so you'll
safe
get
for work.
It's pretty quiet in the Discord too, so you'll get a hearty hi from everyone that's around whenever you come in. But outside of that, thank you, Grim, for coming on and talking about some Mortal Kombat with me, and I will catch you again on the next Grimglow recording.
Yes, you will.
As always, thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to another episode of Afterglow. If you're looking for more podcast goodness, I'm going to start out with some of the friends of the show. If you go to the show notes, check out the link tree. There are so many people in there right now. We've got links to the Superpod Network, the Reviews Brothers, Main Quest, Lost and Gone, Retro Hangover, Retro Gaming Roundup, all the boys from Bad Secret Media, and of course, the new podcast with my buddy Grim that you just got done listening to, Grimglow Low Tech Reviews, featuring both himself and myself. Yeah, that was good English, right? As we go over some old school low tech technology. And of course, if you're wanting to help support Afterglow, the easiest way of doing it is to just leave a comment on an episode. If you're listening on a platform that allows you to rate it, rate us whatever you want. And I'm not going to request 5 stars, because if you don't think we deserve it, rate us 4, rate us 3, rate us 2, rate us 1. It's whatever you think. But it would be a huge deal just if you would give us some kind of rating. On top of supporting us, if you want to support us a different way, there is always the merch store. If you want to grab a t-shirt, a magnet, a sticker, whatever. There's a Patreon. If you want to shoot $1 a month, you'll get a shout out at the end of every episode. There's also a link to the Afterglow and now Grimglow, because we're teaming up for the same Discord, but our Discord. One Discord, And you can talk about both Afterglow along with Grimglow as well. And that link will, of course, be in our link tree. While I'm talking about all of our friends, some of them would like to advertise their show and maybe talk to you about why you should give them a listen as well. So I'm going to let them do that right now.
Afterglow listeners, it's me, Keith Gasper, coming at you from the #1 retro gaming podcast, the Main Quest Podcast. Come hang out as a guest and I play and discuss a game from the backlog of my childhood. We're talking about our history and the history of the game, and if it's worth checking out today. We're talking about games from the NES, the Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx, Game Boy, and much more. And that's just on the main feed. If you enjoy what you're hearing on Afterglow, you're going to enjoy the Main Quest, and I'm happy to have you. Find the Main Quest on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Spotify, and wherever great podcasts are downloaded.
Hello, my name is Aaron. I'm one half of Super Pod Saga, a topical variety video game podcast fueled entirely by nostalgia and unleaded gasoline. Super Pod Saga, we discuss a different video game topic each and every week. We have new episodes every single Monday covering a different video game topic. More than anything, we want to entertain our listeners and make you feel like you're one of the boys, like you're hanging out at a campfire with some of your best zany, caffeine-powered buddies and just talking about your favorite games and all that stuff. Stop on down to Super Pod Saga. It's on every podcatcher there is. If it's not, let me know and we'll get on it. Again, Super Pod Saga, stop on by.
Hello and welcome to the Reviews Brothers. It's me, Martin, and you can join me on YouTube where I have hundreds of videos covering a huge range of video game topics. I've got top 10s, hidden gems, console-focused A to Zs, as well as dedicated videos to topics like Doom mods, 3D platform games, ninja games, pirate games, and more. I cover all systems from Commodore 64 right up to modern consoles. Nothing gaming is off the table. So be sure to search for the Reviews Brothers on YouTube as well as on Instagram and TikTok for hundreds of retro and modern video game reviews.
For more than 15 years, Retro Gaming Roundup has been the centre of your retro gaming universe, with top 10s, interviews, game reviews, news, and much more from all over the globe. Be sure to tune in every month for a new dose of Retro Gaming Roundup. That's RetroGamingRoundup.com.
Hey, this is Toby, one half of the Secret Levels podcast. We're a podcast that goes over old retro games. We go over the history, the story, the gameplay, some fun facts. We even rage a little bit. And then we go and give it a nice 1 to 10 rating to let you know if it's still worth playing. We have over 200 reviews for games on the NES, the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and many other consoles. You can find us on all the major podcasting apps, such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and you can follow us on social media at Secret Levels Pod. Game over, folks.